So you're trying to stay ahead of the curve in business tech, right? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into something that's changing the game, agentic assistants.
Agentic assistant.
Yeah, these are AI systems that can handle specific tasks on their own, basically.
Autonomously, yeah.
Autonomously, yeah. And we're using this SBE concepts piece, the case for and against the use of agentic assistants, to kind of guide our conversation today. We really want to understand how these tools can make things more efficient for you, boost productivity, but also, what are the downsides? What are the things we need to watch out for?
Yeah, and one of the things that really jumps out from that SBE concepts analysis is this idea of efficiency, right?
Right.
They highlight how agentic assistants can really revolutionize the way we work by taking over those repetitive tasks, the ones that eat up so much of our time.
Yeah, like scheduling meetings.
Exactly.
I mean, think about all the back and forth, trying to find a time that works for everyone. The SBE piece actually uses that as a perfect example of something AI could just take off your plate.
Yeah, free you up to focus on more strategic things.
Exactly. And then, of course, that efficiency ties directly into another big point the SBE concepts breakdown makes: cost savings.
Absolutely. The source material really emphasizes the potential here. When you look at the cost of an AI assistant compared to what you'd spend on salaries and benefits for certain roles,
Yeah.
well, the financial advantages can be pretty significant.
Yeah.
Something to definitely think about for your business.
For your bottom line. And it's not just about internal operations either.
Right.
SBE Concepts also highlights how agentic assistants can totally change the customer experience. Like, have you ever interacted with one of those AI-powered chatbots?
Sure.
They can give you instant support 24/7, which a lot of customers really appreciate.
Absolutely. Meets those rising expectations we see nowadays.
Yeah.
But, and this is key, the SBE concepts piece also presents a really important counterargument.
Right.
It asks, where do these powerful tools fall short?
Yeah, and this is where the SBE concepts analysis gets really intriguing. It points to a fundamental limitation. AI doesn't have human judgment. It doesn't have empathy.
Right.
And in certain fields like healthcare or law, that's a big deal. The article stresses how crucial it is to have that nuanced understanding, that emotional intelligence, which is something AI just hasn't mastered yet.
It's a really important distinction. While AI is amazing at processing information, it lacks that awareness of context, that depth of understanding that we humans use to make decisions, especially in sensitive situations.
And then there's the whole issue of privacy and security, right? I mean, these agentic assistants often need access to, well, sensitive data. So naturally, the risk of data breaches becomes a concern.
Of course.
And then you have to think about how comfortable your employees and your customers are with AI handling their personal information.
Yeah, and that feeds into another point that the SBE concepts analysis makes.
Sure.
We can't become too reliant on technology.
Right.
It suggests that if we depend too much on these systems, it could actually have a negative impact on our own critical thinking skills, our ability to solve problems.
Yeah, what happens if the system crashes?
Exactly.
We can't forget about the ethical implications either. I mean, if an AI assistant makes a mistake, especially when interacting with customers, who's accountable?
Right.
The article even touches on how AI's decision-making processes can be a bit opaque sometimes, which makes accountability tricky.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
How do we assign responsibility when these autonomous systems are making decisions that affect people's lives?
So after this deep dive into the SBE concepts material, what's the big takeaway?
It's all about balance. Using agentic assistants to complement human capabilities, not replace them.
Yeah.
This way, you get the efficiency that AI offers, but you don't lose that vital human oversight, that judgment that's so important in certain areas.
Right. Strategic integration. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
So agentic assistance, definitely a lot of potential there in terms of boosting efficiency.
Definitely.
But, and this is what our exploration of the SBE concepts piece has shown, we can't ignore those limitations.
Right.
Especially when it comes to human judgment, security, and all the ethical questions. The key takeaway here is to think carefully about how we integrate these tools. Use them for those routine tasks, but make sure human expertise is still at the heart of complex decision-making.
So thinking about your own work, what are those tasks that you do day in and day out that could maybe be automated?
Right.
And on the flip side, what aspects of your work absolutely require that human touch, that deeper understanding? That's what the SBE concepts analysis really encourages us to consider.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Definitely something to think about.
SBE Concepts, we are deeply invested in your success.